lost a lot of weight now, and I'm a vegetarian.
Jamie Foxx. What you need, Opie?
Are you Puff Daddy?
Oh, no.
What is up, YouTube? It's Coffee. Back at it with the news with an update, man. And Jamie Foxx, I hope he's doing better. You know, remember he was hospitalized for quite some time. It was a very scary situation. Some felt a very spooky situation, like something just didn't feel right at times, myself included. I don't know how to feel now. Y'all let me know how you feel in the comments below, as well as everything else we touch on in this video. Make sure to hit them buttons and sub up for me, y'all. But real talk, man, Jamie Foxx, it's so crazy. He's always been tied to Diddy in a sense, in a way, with, you know, the disturbing and weird things we hear about how Diddy likes to get down behind the scenes, you know what I mean? And over the past week or so, the Diddy Cassie news has dominated the news cycle, and Jamie Foxx, many felt like he kind of in a way exposed Diddy. And even when that was going on, when he was hospitalized, there were theories developing, you know, that had something to do with it, with the boat that Jamie Foxx was in. I'm not saying that's what it was. Again, let me know if you think it was in the comments below. But it's so wild, him being tied to Diddy in that way. And then now Jamie Foxx, the latest individual to find himself in the same situation that Diddy is in, right? Where Jamie Foxx is one of the two most current names of being sued for some disturbing actual assault stuff like Diddy, you know what I mean? As if you ain't heard, Jamie Foxx and Axl Rose, it's all over the place, have just been sued in the same vein as Diddy. Now, I will say regarding Axl Rose and Jamie Foxx, neither of them immediately sued the day this court filings happened. You know what I mean? That, again, that's the thing with Diddy that really has just shocked everyone, almost screams that he did it. As if you're accused of some horrible, terrible things you did not do, you defend yourself and fight back, right? Like, bottom line. Again, let me know if you agree. But with all these celebs being highlighted in the news, you know, they have all been, it's under this New York Adult Survivors Act, which was something that was pushed through back in 2022. And if I'm not mistaken, the deadline just ended today, where that, you know, won't exist anymore, where individuals who were victims were allowed to file lawsuits federally against their attackers, you know, the predators. It didn't matter how far back it happened. Again, that was pushed through in 2022, and the deadline, I think, was today. A lot of celebrities were mentioned throughout this year where this Adult Survivors Act was active and in place. Trump, many other people, you know. But from my understanding, the deadline is over. It was almost kind of like, felt like the Me Too 2.0 in a way. Let me know if you would agree with that in the comments. But again, Axl Rose, Jamie Foxx not settling with their accusers the day the filings went through. And when it comes to Jamie Foxx, not a whole lot is out there, you know, hitting the news cycle regarding the allegations against him. Just word is allegedly that in 2015, he was out at a restaurant, had some drinks in him, was inebriated, according to his accuser, and he got too handsy with her, is what the allegations state. But when it comes to Axl Rose, the lot more information is coming out. You know, his accuser is a former penthouse pet. Ain't that what they're called, if I'm not mistaken? Like Playboy is Playmates, I believe. Penthouse is called Pets. Sheila Kennedy, she's now 61. I think Axl Rose is also 61 as well. But this happened back in 89. I think she was a teenager, and you know, she used to live with the guy from Penthouse. I hope I'm not butchering his name, Bob Gucci on, you know, and it was in some kind of love triangle type relationship with his wife where she was having threesomes with him. And she spoke out about Penthouse in the past, as well as this incident with Axl Rose. Like, this is not something she's never spoke up on before. But, you know, according to her, as I'm sure everyone's aware of all the stuff people have said in former models and talent, you know, with Playboy about Hugh Hefner. The Penthouse guy sounds like Hugh Hefner times 10, you know, that like no dudes were allowed at the Penthouse apartment or property or penthouse, the penthouse in Manhattan, whatever it was called. The females had to sign in and out, and it just sounds real spooky. She's actually referenced it as a jail before, and, you know, in interviews has more or less said, like, anything you heard about this dude is true, according to her. I guess she used to mess with Ron Darling, former Mets pitcher, at one point in time, but they broke up. She said dude was cheating on her. I don't know. Like, she's shared her story, which is a very eventful story to say the least before, you know what I mean? But when it comes to Axl Rose, allegedly, again, this is some very disturbing stuff. Back in 1989, she was out partying, or I don't know, out moving around, and she bumped into Axl Rose, and you know, he said, let's party or let's hang out. She didn't really know who he was like that, but her friend did, and long story short, he wanted to party. She went to some room that he had, and he was just pushing the cocaine and champagne on the women, and you know, her and this dude Ricky Radman, let me know if you remember him. He used to be a host on the MTV show Headbangers Ball, and he said to have a long friendship with Axl Rose. Actually, you know, even according to himself, Axl Rose helped get him his job at MTV.
Kind of unknown if you have like the seal of approval from somebody else. And I said, well, Ricky Rackman brought Axl Rose to his MTV audition, so that's always my go-to. It's like, that helps a little.
Ricky Rackman didn't make it on his talent. Yeah.
No, that's not the takeaway. The takeaway is, like, you know, if you, you know, work everything that you've got, right? I mean,
oh my God, yes. I mean, you know, it's about who you know. I mean, it just so happened that in our small group of friends, that many of them became the biggest rock stars in the world. And
yeah,
one thing that I will always say about Axl Rose is Axl is a person that back in the day, and I'm sure he's probably this way as well now, but Axl was somebody that did take care of his friends. You know, in the circle was a lot of people that he'd always known.
Yeah.
And it really helped facilitate my job on MTV. It wasn't like, hey, they're auditioning people to host. It was like, you know, him and his manager at the time, Doug Goldstein, made some phone calls, set everything up for me. So does it help having Axl Rose as an agent? Yeah, it did. But it was up to the
but you also had to be able to deliver once you got there. They weren't just going to say, oh, somebody Axl knows and he can't.
The first shows, it's questionable whether I delivered or not. And, you know, it just goes to show you never know what paths you take are going to lead you in what direction, you know. And
so that was the Ricky Radman dude talking about his history with Axl Rose and all that. And, you know, it really makes you wonder when this goes to court. You heard him talking about friends and people looking out for their friends. If, you know, he will testify or not, or, you know, I'm sure he'll be subpoenaed. What will he say? If it is indeed true, will he try to cover it up against Axl Rose, like flat out? You know what I mean? Me, if someone's my friend and they're doing some weirdo-ish, I'm trying to stop them. And if they do some weirdo-ish, or even if I had to stop them, like, we're not friends no more. I don't rock with people like that. You know what I mean? Personally, you know. But just wanted to share that they do have a long history together, and she mentions him by name. And, you know, she says that her and the Ricky Radman dude tried to leave, I guess, as the partying was going on, all kinds of drugs, champagne, and apparently Axl had aggressive acts with a woman or something like that, and she tried to leave, and then, you know, next thing you know, he snatched her up by the hair and tied her up and violated her. And I don't know, she just mentions by, you know, quote says like Axl Rose, what's the word she uses? He was, she says Kennedy had just witnessed Rose violently have sex with another woman. He dragged Kennedy to his bedroom like a caveman and acted with uncontrolled fury. Rose had physically stopped her from leaving. She was trapped, and then he assaulted her. He treated her like properly, solely for his actual pleasure. You know, Axl Rose has came out and denied this, calling it fictional and things like that. But you know, again, this is not the first time she's mentioned this. This is not breaking news in a sense. Like, it is breaking news. The lawsuit is breaking news, but her calling Axl Rose out before is not.
I met Axl, and it was right after them coming off the tour that they had, and he was at a nightclub, the Cat Club in Manhattan. I guess Ricky Rackman kind of ran the show. That was his little sidekick at the time. They had done Headbangers Ball on MTV, and so they were always like kind of they had a bromance going. And so my girlfriend was more into the whole heavy metal scene, and I didn't know who he was. I just thought, wow, he's gorgeous. You know, he had this long red hair and scruff on his face, and I was like, wow, who is this guy? And she goes, you don't know who that is? And I said, no. She goes, it's the lead singer of Guns N' Roses. I was like, okay. So we walk over and we're hanging out, and he was like, do you want to go to the after party at our hotel? And I was like, sure. And he says, get rid of your friend. And I said, why? And he goes, she's a little plump. We need, like, maybe you could go pick up a model or something, or do you have any other girlfriends? I said, I don't know anyone here. And then, of course, my girlfriend knew this other girl, and she was a model, and she was gorgeous. And so we all go back to the hotel, and they're all doing drugs. And, I mean, it's a scene in there. And it's straight out of Boogie Nights. You know, there's cocaine everywhere. There's pills. There's champagne. And I just happened to go into his bathroom, and I'm looking around, and just went to the bathroom, and everybody's in the living room. And I look around, and I see bottles of lithium and all this stuff, and I'm thinking, he is about to explode. This guy is on everything right now. And I kind of got scared, because I had heard, you know, that combination was kind of an ugly thing. And I just knew in my gut that it was bad. And so that ended up being not a good thing. And then he wakes up the next day and disappears. I'm still in the hotel, and he goes to the Howard Stern show, and he was late for the Howard Stern show. So what happened to you? He goes, nobody comes to my show late. And he goes, oh, I was up all night with a Penthouse Pets. And then Howard Stern said, oh, then that's okay.
So that was back in 2016, where she was, you know, working, doing a lot of interviews and whatnot with the media. She spoke about this incident with Axl Rose. You see there, she didn't really go in. She just lightly touched on the situation, but she was exposing a lot of things about Penthouse and stuff like that. And she wrote about this incident, or alleged incident, in her book, saying, you know, with her, she was always mad she didn't trust her gut and just get up out of there. But you know, according to her claims, though, she did try to leave. I don't know, the stories she told then and now, like in her book and everything, don't really differ much, in my opinion. You know, like the stories kind of seem consistent, but she claims Axl Rose apologized, and I don't know, that was that. But let's keep it real. When the Me Too stuff was going on, and just a lot of other things that have came out over the years about rock stars and bands, and, you know, when they were on tour, they would get into all kinds of debauchery and messing with groupies and stuff like that. And, you know, a lot of it was pretty disturbing. You know what I'm saying? Like underage girls and, you know, just different wicked, evil things. You know, like, I'm not saying all rock stars are just no good, but we have heard the disturbing-ish about some of these bands from back in the day. And again, this was 89 when this allegedly happened, and Guns N' Roses was on top of the world. And I don't know, she speaks of him like he just had this ego and, you know, wanted to get drugged up and treated women like nothing. That's what it was, according to her. You know, so once again, there you have it. Axl Rose, Jamie Foxx, the two latest celebrities to be sued under this New York Adult Survivors Act. The deadline is hit. That act is not in place anymore, from my understanding. But we got to say it again. They, and I say they meaning Axl and Jamie Foxx, did not settle with the accusers immediately, you know, like Diddy did. So take from that what you will. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think. Again, Axl Rose has denied this. I haven't really heard anything from Jamie Foxx regarding the allegations made against him. But jump in the comments, tap in, share your thoughts. Let's talk it up. Coffee Talk It Up. Stay tuned for updates on this, as well as other news stories and content. You know, if you're new, this is Coffee Talk, where we talk it up on music, news, sports, and more. And I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.